Hey guys, my name is Alex Logvanov, and today I'll be talking to you guys about Cory Arcangel. Now, a little bit about him. He's born May 25th, 1978 in Buffalo, New York. He studied classical guitar at the Oberlin Conservatory of Music, but later switched to major in technology of music, which he then graduated in 2000. Now, he presents his work of art through many different ways, but these were worth bringing up. Galleries, merchandise, videos, and publishing. Those are the four main ones that he likes to that he loves to present his work of art, and we will get to more of them in just a second. So just a little bit about his gallery work. He has galleries in New York, Paris, Salzburg, London, and Shanghai, which he presents many of his work of art to the public. Now, about his work and context, he makes his work in many different medias, including drawing, music, video performance art, and video game modifications, which is for what he's actually best known for, the video game modifications. And I wanted to bring this up. He uses a strategy of appropriation. He definitely does, as we stated in class. He he creatively reuses existing materials, such as shown in one of his actually works of art, dancing stands. He uses Photoshop gradients and YouTube videos to create new works of art. And his work of art explores the relationship between digital technology and pop culture, which is a really big point, and we will get to this really soon. Um, Now, materials used. He uses a wide range of materials, and this is what makes Cory Arcangel. He's different from everyone else. He uses a wide variety of materials, so to say, from film, prints, software design, video, drawings, and there's many more. This piece that you see to your right, I wanted to put this in for you guys and explain this to you. This brings so many connotations, first of all. What do you see from left to right? You see different colors, different patterns, and different emotions, so to say. This is what Cory tries to fulfill with this piece of work. These are actually prints made on a software and then printed onto paper and put on the wall. He wanted to show the world that we're living in now. The you could say the escalation of what everything used to be like before to what it is now. It's more pop culture, as stated before, more color, more futuristic, and you could see that it shows a depth and emotion and purpose of his work of art. And people can relate to this work of art as this is what people wear nowadays. This is what the world is coming to, where everything is evolving around color and just a more bright spectrum world, so to say. Now, appropriation. Arcangel is as forward-looking as he is nostalgic for obsolete technologies. And through his devotion to open source code, he intends to further the cycle of appropriation. So this is actually really important. Appropriation plays a big part in Cory Arcangel's work and what he's trying to show to the world. Now, a quote from Cory himself. This really hit me and made sense to me, because this is actually relates to what type of work I do myself. And so he states, I think about my work, artworks, as paintings, because they refer to a history of painting. I also have to think about them as sculptures, because every part of the process is part of the project. They're sculptures because they play on the idea of what should be hanging in a gallery. In that sense, they're also kind of ready-mades, which also brings a great point about what we're trying to learn this semester in class as well. Ready-mades are a big part of what Cory does in his work of art. Now, a little bit about concerns and interests. Arcangel works with a range of mediums, as stated before, with video games, music, websites, and software. You know, what stands out is that he's concerned with media and technology. That's the main focal point. His work explores the nature of culture production and consumption. And he's actually widely recognized as one of the most important exponents of tech-based art. And that's a big thing. As you know, stated before, he likes to use transformation and manipulation with the use of appropriation. He likes to be openly playful and revolves around that experimental nature. Going through Cory Arcangel's website when making this presentation, I actually it almost felt to me like it was an old website, but at the same time, that's what makes the beauty of it. It was like riding across waves of digital archaeology, so to say. And, you know, and for some reason, things were just endlessly folding and unfolding in his website. And it made sense. It showed depth, it showed emotion, and it made sense to what he was trying to achieve, which is everything through internet. A little interview with Arcangel from Days Digital, a really famous digital media interview website company. They had a chance to interview him about his digital media and, you know, why it was relevant. And this is what he had to say. Well, I was a computer nerd growing up and always felt very comfortable in front of a computer, and it's still true today. Then the internet happened and I was like, this is so awesome, and lost a lot of my life to the internet. All of a sudden, millions of people were expressing themselves through a computer. I feel it's the most interesting thing to happen in like 20 years. Although my works can end up on walls and physical like sculptures, it often comes from me sitting where I like to be, at my computer. 3 things that, you know, are essential to Cory's practice. One for sure would be that he states that he is constantly stressed about things disappearing. He focuses on preserving things in culture that may have disappeared or got forgotten about. And he loves to bring them back to life digitally and physically. Number 2, he's always about technological advancements. That's what he does. He uses art to pull things out so that people can see with their own eyes without them having to go and explore for themselves. He wants them to see straight away. And number 3, he does things that nobody else does. He can't find solutions to all of his work of arts, but that's what makes the beauty for him. He works because he doesn't want the works to end up being dumb, of course, as quote unquote. But he works because nobody does what he does. Nobody has done it. Nobody thinks of doing it. And that's what drives him to do what he does. His work definitely relates to open art, as we learn about this in class, because he goes outside the norms and always pushes boundaries, i.e. with the coding and computer encoding he does with his work of art to produce. Now, how does he make his work of art? 2 words, honestly: computer art. That's just what he is. That's who he is. That's what he stands for. Coding would be an easier way to explain it. In a recent interview with Tate Shots, he actually stated that he bought a lot of equipment off of eBay, hooked it up all together and just started pushing buttons, and it drove him to a different world and made him see things that he's never seen before, and that's what drives him to this day. The full interview is provided here with a link, but we're not going to watch that as it's too long. Now, people and their thoughts on, you know, Pac Man himself, which is what he gets called. Mary Heilman, in her interview with Cory Arcangel from Interview Magazine, she said to him, "I always think of my paintings as sculptures. Are these works multiples or one of a kind?" Now, Arcangel replies, they're uniques. I advertise them as being really easy to make, but the truth is nothing is really easy to make. He makes hundreds and hundreds of them and spends thousands of hours editing them down to the point where, you know, he doesn't want it anymore. But at the same time, it's still an experimental part of what he does. And it actually works well together after a while. And then she also states, okay, so you have to be a genius to make this easy stuff though. And he states, I wouldn't say you have to be a genius, but making things look simple is half the battle. His most recent work is actually called Fresh Buzz, and it was made live on August 6, 2020. And it's a work of art which draws a high point for Cory in his 20-year artistic journey. And it basically shows on Twitch, which is actually an online site that allows users to watch or broadcast a streaming, and a pre-recorded video of broadcasters' video games or videos in general. And so this is one of the phases that allows Cory to be different, and what makes him Cory Arcangel is that he's different and he wants to express himself in different ways. Now, in conclusion, what really stuck to me was his quote, "Keep doing what you like to do. That's all it is." And that's what resonates with me, because I'm an artist also that looks to be outside norms, be artistic more in a sense of color and patterns and pop art. And I just wanted, I wanted to be more colorful and just stand out for people across the room. And Cory Arcangel really did help me think about my artistic journey in general, as I understand where he's coming from in the terms of being more out there and just experimenting. Even though if you fail, you can still do what you love at the end of the day. So that was my presentation on Cory Arcangel, and thank you very much for listening.